Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bruce, aka Haunted Husband, and welcome back to We, the Revolution. Now, this is my first video back from recording like a batch of these, so I don't really remember what's been happening. The last thing I remember is finding out that our brother is alive and that he's coming to destroy all of Paris, along with me, my father, and my family. That's what I remember last. Anything other than that, I can't really remember. So it's going to be like a jog through, getting back into it. But I've really been enjoying the game. I hope you have it too. Um, Super interesting subject matter. Has a lot of historical elements to it, and almost everything you do matters, which is a really big feat for a lot of games, because a lot of times you just do things and the ending is what it is. But this is like, if you do every little thing wrong, it's going to get you in the end. What was so important to bring you here, Marat? Is it really so important that we cannot discuss this at my house in the evening? I would rather do it here, surrounded by other people, as I'm afraid that I would not leave your house alive. I do not understand. I am in possession of anonymously written documents that describe your actions since you became a judge of the tribunal. Betrayals, murders, political bribery. Are you still a human, or am I talking to the devil? This is all Clement Renard's doing. That man has already destroyed my father, and a few days ago he threatened to do the same to me if I would not be obedient to him. Citizen Fidel. Whatever is written there is not true. Those lies are only supposed to destroy. Do not make a fool of me. Today Renard was found dead at the back of the Café Procope. Did not know that. Now that I will dig into this until I know every wrongdoing, every murder, deceit, and betrayal. I can assure you that. There is no need. Focus on assuring your family that you are not a monster, because I tend to be ruthless. Time for her to go. Off with his head. Let's look at the hierarchy. No one else exists except for me and Bruno. High, very high, medium. Look at me. My track record for acquittals is way outpacing my death penalties. So, kind of wish I had back and kind of took care of these, knowing what I know now. But maybe I'll venture to a second playthrough once I finish this one. We got some cases to read. Let's start with Francis Allard. Is a 72-year-old, okay, happily drove his street cart around barefoot even though he was almost too drunk to stand in the saddle. He was stopped by his neighbors who testified that Allard's grandchildren were passengers in the cart. The situation could have been... The aristocrats are mad because I didn't give a drunk guy the guillotine. Get your priorities right, man. Edgar and Sylvie Plachet found to have been robbing inns and cellars on a regular basis. They assaulted several people in the street. They were caught laden with stolen wine, and they jumped out of the winery right into the arms of guard patrol. Guillotine. Young Corinne Ferrier was accused of destroying a market stall. The boy had tried to jump from a rooftop onto a cart carrying hay. He missed it and landed on a stall belonging to a merchant. Man, these aristocrats need to get their fucking shit out of there. The merchant, Cedric Bernard, visited his supplier in the country and loaded an extra 4 bags of flour that he did not pay for into his cart. This clearly could not have been a simple mistake. It had to be deliberate theft. Man, these aristocrats are... tried to rob a merchant, cover the victim's head with a bucket, hoping that he would not... Antoine Basset was seen running around with 2 wooden sticks attached to his back. He was saying something about slaughtering monsters. Several merchants and Smith and... I usually like going 3 for 3. But you know, what can you do? Marat's Revolution. Marat was nothing but thorough. This morning, Parisians were greeted by a special issue of his newspaper, in which he summed up your actions since taking office. He wrote about your elimination of the Rolands, how you exterminated the Gridarns and Robespierre's command. He talked at length about how you destroyed the lives of the mayor and his daughter. The Muscons will learn that you framed Beatrice for espionage. Each of your sins, minor and major alike, prescribed with nigh analytic solitude of someone who had been watching you from every move for a while. Brother wasn't kidding. This was far from over. Huh. That anybody giving me just like, Boy, he looks rough. I mean, I can't do anything, so lower it if you must. Just the ticking of the clock. Your brother's army will be arriving in 3 days. Well, if that's the end of the day, then I'm definitely going to come in here because I got 5 points. Can't do that, can't do that. No, can't use my points for anything. That's bullshit. But okay. I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to be doing about stopping my brother's army, but I'm just trying to take over every district and hopefully that'll be enough. So no more major trials, huh? Martine Surratt, a prostitute, was serving a range of high-ranking guard officers, as well as at least one British agent, who we have already sentenced to death. We are sure that she paid for whispering military secrets to him whenever she joined. Why do the aristocrats care that I sentence a prostitute who was passing secrets to a spy? Why are they mad about that? Explain that to me, game. I want to see a breakdown of why the aristocrats are mad. Are you mad because I'm killing a prostitute? Are you afraid you're not going to find another prostitute in Paris? I mean, get your head out of your asses, boys. Restaurateurs Gaetan and Lucie Guillemot were caught serving low-quality pork meat and lying to their customers, saying it was sirloin. To cover the taste of the pork, they seasoned it with many cheap spices and sauces. I'll come back to that. Bernadette Gauthier, the young wife of a guard officer, was caught in bed with the 14-year-old son of their butler. Fortunately, the betrayed husband, Jean-Jacques Gauthier, was reasonable enough to refrain from punishing them, only arrested his unfaithful wife and her lover. It's more of a you problem, not a me problem. Hubert Bernard told everyone in the neighborhood that a detachment of the guard had unlawfully beaten up his brother. We managed to establish that Pierre Bernard had assaulted the soldiers and that they were merely defending themselves. We also found out that the culprit had already been punished. Vicar Julien Larde was seen beating 3 children who were playing cards in the streets. The accused claimed that they were playing war, a game that his opinion triggers violence. Pierre Joffre. While his staff was preparing for a battle, General Pierre Joffre visited his mistress' tent. It is worth mentioning that they were caught in the middle of sexual intercourse, surrounded by delicatessen so rare during wartime, but even officers did not have access to them. Like, what is this? Like, what crimes are you bringing for me? Like, who gives a shit? Screw him. Who gives a shit? Like, these are the most pettiest of crimes. Like, I don't care about any of these. Citizen Fidel, they have found another body. Who is it this time? Stop pretending, you know who. Do not play games with me. I thought that, never mind. Citizen Marat was found dead.
Marat had it coming. A crazy Girondin got to him.
I'm not sure if he paid for his sins. Or my own. Get him out.
Marat's revolution. Even from beyond the grave, Marat can deal substantial damage. The night before his death, he was able to typeset the last issue of the paper, focus on your most recent misdeeds. He claimed that you were the one behind Goebbels' death, you, the true mastermind, not Goebbels' son. The paper also described how you overthrew Robespierre, only to gain absolute power in France. There is no need to tell you what else was written. You know the truth. You know that his words contain more truths than lies. Everyone feels the same, even if they are not sure, and your family knows what you're capable of in the eyes of Paris. You are a monster who was exposed by Marat, a monster who killed and buried the revolution. What? So the game's just purposely sinking me at this juncture. Like, I have no capabilities of doing anything about it. Like, this I'm not enjoying. This seems like bullshit to me. Yes, my brother will arrive in 2 days. I know. Can I not? No, I really don't care about that. Can you do anything up here? Nope. Anything here? Nope. Anything here? Nope. Nothing there. So what good are you? I can't do anything with you. Can't go there. Put you there instead. I don't care about this territory. Controlled by the enemy. What enemy? I got this 12-0. And I can't do anything with you, so... So who cares? In the day, okay. Before I do that... Days are just flying by now. I'm not too sure how this is going to turn out for me. I assume in this, I am dead. I have no choice but to be dead. Holy crap, an actual trial? Who's left? I mean... This is one of those classics, I'm screwed either way. This has been compiled by Pierre, my good friend Pierre. The defendant is Charlotte Corday. Residing in Caen, she openly declares her sympathy for the Gridirons. The woman murdered Jean-Paul Marat. She was detained at the scene of the crime and confessed immediately. According to our information, the woman displays an intense dislike of Jacobins, anyone who contributed to the fall of the Gridirons. She arranged a meeting with Marat under the pretext of turning in a group of her comrades, who had supposedly planned an uprising in Caen. Marat's servants remained vigilant and initially did not let the woman near Jean-Paul. Eventually, the host reprimanded them and told them to let the supposed informer in. The man was sitting in his bath, as rumored had he was suffering from skin disease that was eased by long baths. It seems that he suspected nothing. It was found none of the deceased weapons near the bathtub. After a short conversation, Corday thrust a knife between his wrists. Marat cried for help, but had little chance of surviving after being so badly wounded. When the servants ran in, Corday was standing at the window, looking at it as though she was examining the landscape. She offered no resistance during her arrest, but tightly gripped a copy of Plutarch's Parallel Lives. I do not know if it is any good. I have not read it. On the way to her cell, she repeated many times that she had been acting on her own and was particularly keen on emphasizing that there was no man behind her act. The guards probably did not fully believe her as she began to shout in the corridor that she was a virgin. Yet, who would want to copulate with a lunatic like her? Marat is dead. He was our brother. He was informal leaders of the revolution. Everyone loved his articles in which he highlighted the false enemies of Republic. One trap, 6 questions. Is the book really... I mean, no one knows anything about... I mean, stabbing with a knife is not evidence. That's a method, to me. It's not a motive. It's not the finished personality. One of you is a trap. So this could be evidence. I mean, this only could be evidence, right? I mean, it's not a method, it's not the personality. That's all I got left is these. I think this is the trap. No, that was the trap. The bath was a ruse all along. I mean, I'm literally screwed either way. If I do this, it's really going to piss off the common folk. It's going to bring the aristocrats all the way up. If I kill her, the aristocrats are going to be really angry, as well as my family, because I think my family wants her acquitted as well. I have no idea how I'm going to play this. I mean, my family really can't take another hit. Does the death penalty take me into danger? I mean, does acquittal take me into danger? Yes. Damn. Please introduce yourself. My name is Charlotte Corday. You've been accused of murdering Citizen Marat. Yes, I did it. We rarely see people here confess so willingly. Why are you so hateful towards Marat? He was a symbol of evil that is smothering our country. Is that why you stayed there after committing the crime? I'm not ashamed. I did not have to run. I have killed one man to save 100,000, and I received death as my reward. The fall of the Gridirons was justified. That's a lie. The fall of the Gridirons was planned. You issued your verdict and probably had a hand in the whole thing. What do you mean? The Headshire was involved in a dispute with Minister Roland, and all of a sudden the Gridirons were accused of treason. It's not hard to figure out that Judge Fidel must have had something to do with it. Enough of these aspirations. I mean, how does this look for me? Like, everyone knows probably I wanted Marat dead because he exposed me. If I let her go, it makes it look like I had something to do with it. I'm not too sure why the aristocrats are in favor of acquittal. I mean, how do you justify letting her go? Like, how do you do that? How do you justify letting her go? It's not like there's any, like, unknown suspicions. Like, it could have been her. It possibly could have been her. She was there. She just admitted to doing it. How do you let her go? I mean, you have to. Are we supposed to believe that you acted on your own? It doesn't take a regiment of soldiers to stab someone with a knife. And nobody helped you plan it? You made it particularly clear. I will say this loud and clear. I am aware that Monsieur le Judge had a dispute with Marat, but let everyone here know that I was not instructed to do this by Judge Fidel. I do not need a man to administer justice. I don't need a man to do anything. My own strong will is sufficient. Why did you underline? Because your minds aren't able to accept the idea that a delicate woman could kill. Marat was the same. What you have done is a blow to all of France. Marat was an outstanding citizen of Paris, devoted to the revolution. He was scum, a monster. Only in Paris could someone like him be respected as the savior of the nation. To us in Caen, and for many people across France, he was and will always be an ordinary criminal. And also for those companions whom you indeed intended to turn in? Do you think anyone will tell you the truth? You, the people who feed the guillotine with fresh blood? The transparent actions of the authorities were to be the foundation of the revolution. Perhaps in Paris, but in the countryside, it is now worse than before. We used to blame the king for our hunger. Now we blame ourselves because it was us who put you in power. A bloodstained knife was found at the scene of the crime. Is it yours? Yes, I bought it not long before. Anyone who is secretly against another could administer such a blow. With an ordinary knife and no need to performance you give every day at the guillotine. Do you want to turn in your companions? There were no companions. As there was no uprising, I knew that the vision of the big conspiracy could convince Marat to meet with me. You came from Caen? That's a long way from Paris. The journey passed quickly as I was focused on his purpose and the pleasure of imagining Marat as a bleeding creature. You made sure to wear a beautiful outfit as well. Beautiful outfit for the guillotine, not for Marat. You're acting as if you want to die. Such is the price of freedom and equality. I at least agree with Marat on one point. The change that is necessary for France must be introduced by force. I added my unswerving strength of will to that end. I mean, she wants to die. Give her what she wants. Always leave him with a smile. I sent a citizen Charlotte Gardet to guillotine. Lead the men out. I wanted to let her go. But how could you? Carefree. Withdrawn. I mean, they're already satisfied. There are no shades of gray in the crime, only guilt or innocence. The criminals belong in the grave. Only then can we build a better future. The reign of the previous rulers, whose goal was to bring injustice to the people, ends with their swift deaths. I mean, they're already pleased. I mean, what can you do? Just make it quick. Okay. I'm a people pleaser. You find a large-sized uniform on a hook. Only one employee is big enough to fit it. Your favorite court guard, Raphael Colvis. You find a short letter in one of the pockets, and some parts of it stand out in particular. I'm leaving the service. I can't do this any longer, and too much blood on my hands. The rats are fleeing the sinking ship.
Terror is nothing but swift justice. Robespierre used to say that. And now an army of outcasts marches towards us to present their interpretation of those words.
Do you come to arrest me?
I came to tell you that certain people believe everything you did for the benefit of France.
Who are you?
Officer Thomas Alexandre Dumas from the French army, at your service.
Do you believe in what those few say about me?
Most deputies of the convention fled once they learned of the approaching army. The reinforcements that will be able to save us will take a dozen or so days to reach Paris.
Do you believe I did everything because of France?
No. But as far as I heard, you know the enemy better than any one of us. As a commander, I certainly appreciate that asset. And as a human being, I know that brotherhood is especially important when someone has fallen. You reached the bottom, but there are people willing to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
I think you're talking to the wrong person.
I am talking to a predator.
Wow.
I am talking to a person who is not averse to killing other citizens. And that is what awaits us. We will have to ruthlessly murder Frenchmen who stand on the other side of the barricades. I am talking to a murderer, because that is how you are known to those who are afraid of you. As ghastly as it sounds, you are exactly who we need.
You said yourself that reinforcements are a dozen or more days away.
That is why I gathered an army of loyal people. I will entrust them to you under one condition.
Did you say an army?
Look for yourself. A truly revolutionary army. The poor and the wealthy, white and black people, all marching side by side.
Some good
They
stuff.
came here to protect Paris.
You mentioned one condition.
Make me a general. The first black commander of that high rank in the whole of France.
I do not have such power.
But you do. You still hold the power of the guillotine, remember? Support me, and the army will be yours. Regardless of their origin or race, those people believe that if they are scared of you, our enemy should be even more terrified.
Hand me a piece of paper and a pen, General.
Hell yeah. Wow. The number of units given to you depends on your reputation. Artillery, musketeers, city guard, infantry. The whole of Paris is fighting. The political salon will be transformed into headquarters. And the hideout will be transformed into a help center. The printing house will stop operating. The garrison generates reinforcements every turn. The higher your reputation, the more troops will join you. People are trying to avoid enemies' cruelty in every section of Paris. Protect them as long as you possible. Your reputation depends on it. Statistics view. Toggle the view of refugees remaining in the districts and on and off. The physician treats your injured troops and provides a bonus to health points. Remember, if the troops die, the physician dies with them. Shooters who use to defend the city day by day. They perform ranged and melee attacks. Trained shooters who are most effective in range attacks, but can also fight in real close combat. Powerful artillery. Infantry first row. Infantry first row. So I don't know what's a threatened section. Is there a threatened section? I mean, I don't see... What's the difference between... Did I miss something? So this one, and this one, and this one have this gold band around it. This one, of course, don't. So how am I supposed to know which ones are being under attack? So put one there, one there. This is probably like the worst way of doing this. But once again, I have no idea what I'm in store for, so... So I'm going to put 3 of those there. Three of those there. 1 in Paris. 3 there. 2 there. So obviously I'm missing something. What am I missing? Do I have to have troops in every section? Is that what I'm missing? I have troops in every section. Like, I don't understand. Hmm. I have troops everywhere. Yeah, I'm clueless. I have Do they want me to put all my troops? Because I guess this is the starting section because it's red. Do they want me to put all of them here? I mean, the garrison's full. I can't. Okay. Let's redo this. I apologize for that. It's just... there was little to no indication that that's what it wanted me to do. So I'm going to put all these people back. Knowing that I have to put them all there. Ooh, no, you can stay there. Changes up my strategy. So this threatened section. Start off. 2 cannons. Nope. 4 of those. I have room for 6 more units. I'm going to put So, good number of men up front, good number of shooters. Should be fine. What I'm going to do is, if they go in this direction, I'm going to put a cannon there. Go and start protecting this. And I'm going to move 6 y'all to Paris, just to guard Paris. And I'm going to put 5 of y'all there, 4 y'all there. Sorry, I feel like an idiot now. Act 3. Day 1. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode today. A lot of big developments, a lot of new mechanics now introduced. So it's going to be fun going forward. It's going to be really high-pressure situations. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you've caught up on the old episodes. That way you're up to date on what's happening. If you want to try this yourself, there'll be a link to it in the description below. Go pick it up. It's a really fun game. I highly recommend it. But if you've been enjoying the video, like, comment, subscribe. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm on all social platforms. Find me there. Hope you're having a wonderful day, regardless if it's noon, morning, or night where you're at. And as always, I'll haunt you later.